Hello dear students, welcome again in this lecture CHG 190. I am Mr. Vidi Jadhav. Dear student, in last lecture we have seen introduction of superconductivity, discovery of superconductivity, then Meissner effect, Josephson effect and theory of superconductivity, that is BCS theory of superconductivity. Student, in today's lecture we are learn types of superconductors and magnetic properties of superconductors. Here superconductor classification by their response to a magnetic field. Type 1. In type 1 superconductors, by their response to a magnetic field. Type 1, they have a single critical field above which all superconductivity is lost. And type 2 superconductors, according to their response to a magnetic field, they have two critical fields between which they allow partial penetration of the magnetic field. Next, classification by the theory to explain them. First, conventional, that is, if they are explained by the BCS theory or its derivatives. And second, unconventional. Third, classification of superconductors according to by their critical temperature. First, high temperature generally considered if they reach the superconducting state by just cooling them with liquid nitrogen, that is if critical temperature is greater than 77 Kelvin. And second, low temperature generally if they need other techniques to be cooled under their critical temperature. Fourth, classification according to material by material, in that chemical elements as mercury or lead, second alloys as niobium, titanium or germanium, niobium or niobium nitride. Then ceramics as YbCO or the magnesium diboride. And next, organic superconductors as fullerenes or carbon nanotubes. Though these example technically might be included among the chemical elements as they are composed entirely of carbon. These all are the superconductor classification according to response to a magnetic field, theory to explain them by their critical temperature and by material. Next important is the magnetic properties of superconductors. Meissner and Oxenfeld found that when a superconducting material is cooled below its critical temperature, it expels all magnetic flux from within its interior. In figure 9.3a, in this figure 9.3a, that is a superconductor with no magnetic field. This is figure. When a field is applied, this is second figure. Figure 9.3a, the magnetic flux B is the zero inside a superconductor, since B is equal to mu0 into H in bracket 1 plus chi. When B is equal to 0, chi must be equal to minus 1. That is, superconductors are perfect diamagnets. If a magnetic field is applied to a superconductor, the magnetic flux is excluded. This is shown in figure 9.3b, that is, if a magnetic field is applied to a superconductor, the magnetic flux is excluded and the superconductor repel a magnet. This is shown in figure 9.4. Later on this figure I will show you where a magnet is seen floating in mid-air above a superconductor. It is also found that the critical temperature changes in the presence of a magnetic field. A typical plot critical temperature against an increasing magnetic field is shown in figure 9.5, where we can see that as the applied field increases, the critical temperature drops. This figure 9.5 later I shown you here. This figure 9.5, the variation of the critical field strength for lead. Here this note that this critical field strength is 0 when the temperature T equal to critical temperature. This figure shows magnetization as a function of magnetic field for a type 1 superconductor and type 2 superconductor. You already see what is meant by type 1 superconductor, what is meant by type 2 superconductors here. For this figure, type 1 superconductors, magnetization versus applied magnetic field. For a type 1 superconductor, magnetic flux is expelled, producing a magnetization M that increases with magnetic field H until a critical field Sc is reached, at which it falls to a 0 as with a normal conductor. This is for type 1 superconductor. This figure for type 2 superconductors has two critical magnetic field Sc1 and Sc2. This Sc1 and Sc2 below Sc1 type 2 behaves as a type 1. Below Sc1 type 2 superconductor behaves as type 1 and above Hc2 it becomes normal. Above Sc2 it becomes normal and below Sc1 it behaves as type 1 superconductor. These are the magnetization as a function of magnetic field for type 1 superconductor and type 2 superconductors. In this figure, maximum zero voltage, that is Josephson current passing through a junction by Cooper pair tunneling as a function of magnetic field. This is maximum zero voltage current versus magnetic field. Maximum zero voltage Josephson current passing through a junction by Cooper pair tunneling as a function of magnetic field. In this figure 9.2, the superconducting elements. Here, this periodic table shows superconducting element, non-metallic elements, metallic but not yet found to be superconducting, superconducting under high pressure or in thin films, and element with magnetic order. This blue portion of the element shows non-metallic element in the periodic table. This dark white portion, rectangle portion, shows superconducting element, and this light rectangle portion shows super with light rectangle with dotted element shows superconducting under high pressure or in thin films, and this without dotted light white rectangle portion element shows metallic but not yet found to be superconducting, and this light blue portion element shows element with magnetic order. This is all about periodic table and element and their nature, that is superconducting, non-metallic, metallic but not yet found to be superconducting element with magnetic order, and superconducting under high pressure or in thin films. You only remember the superconducting element, that is this dark rectangle with white portion. This is sodium, potassium, rubidium. These all are the platinum, gold, silver, copper. These all are the superconducting element. Here in this figure 9.3, this A figure, figure 1, that is a superconductor with no magnetic field. This A figure and 1 with no magnetic field, and this second figure in A, that is with applied magnetic field. Magnetic field is applied, the magnetic flux is excluded. Here magnetic field is applied and magnetic flux is excluded. And this B figure, first is the a superconducting substance above the critical temperature. A superconducting substance above the critical temperature in a magnetic flux, in a magnetic field. When the temperature drops below the critical temperature, this B first is the a superconducting substance above the critical temperature in a magnetic field when the temperature drops below the critical temperature, and this B second is the magnetic flux is expelled from the interior. Magnetic flux is expelled from the interior. Both are called Meissner effect. These both are called Meissner effect. These are the with magnetic field or without magnetic field. It is also found that the critical temperature changes in the presence of a magnetic field. A typical plot of critical temperature against increasing magnetic field is depicted in figure 9.5, where in this figure 9.5, that is the a plot of critical temperature against increasing magnetic field, where you can see that as the applied field increases, the critical temperature drops. It follows that a superconducting material can be made non-superconducting by the application of larger magnetic field. The minimum value of the field strength required to bring about this change is called critical field strength. What is meant by critical field strength? Critical field strength is nothing but the minimum value of the field strength required to bring about superconducting material made non-superconducting. This changes to bring about the Minimum value of the field strength is known as critical field strength, HC, capital H, small c. Its value depending on the material and on the temperature. Type 1 superconductors, which includes most of the pure metal superconductors, have a single critical field. Type 2 superconductors, which include alloys and the high critical temperature superconductors, allows some penetration of the magnetic field into the surface above a critical field. SC1, capital H, small c1, but do not return to their non-superconducting state until higher field Hc2 is reached. Here Hc1 and Hc2, you are seen Hc1 and Hc2. Type 2 superconductors tend to have higher critical temperature than type 1 superconductors. Similarly, if the current in the superconductor exceeds a critical current, the superconductivity is destroyed. This is known as Silsby effect. The size of the critical current is dependent on the nature and geometry of the particular sample. Here in this figure 9.4, a permanent magnet floating over a superconducting surface. This is all about the magnetic properties of superconductors, classification of superconducting materials. Now today I will stop. Thank you.